Let's go black on the inside of People Magazine's October the 7th issue. Now, gracing the cover of this issue is actually Lisa Marie Presley. Her daughter Riley, in the article in the magazine, opens up about fulfilling her mother's promise with a book, From Here to Great Unknown. Now, it's my understanding that this is the book that her mother didn't finish prior to passing away, so now she's taking the reins on it. And in the book, it reveals the life of love, heartbreak, loss, addiction, and family of Lisa Marie Presley. And of course, you know, right there on the cover, Diddy's downfall. They talking about it on the front page with the quote, shocking charges could lead to life in prison. As we know, Sean Diddy Combs is geared up and in jail, prison right now. Federal prison. There's a difference, y'all. Federal prison right now. And while it might be going down, you all know that he has agreed that he will testify at his own trial. And that's one of the most interesting parts, because I know we all want to know what Diddy gonna say. But it's gonna be a while, they say, before we get into the trial. But we'll see. As well as New York City mayor, he just went down and was just indicted on some charges as well. And I'll talk about that a little bit later on in another video. The Today Show meteorologist Al Roker and wife Deborah Roberts, they celebrated their 29th wedding anniversary on Instagram. Kathy Bates is also, she's there on page 1 talking about how hard it is to get a date, how hard it was, to get a date after the movie Misery. Do y'all remember that? Now, when I first read this, I thought to myself, wasn't that like in the 80s? But do y'all know that was in 1990 to be exact. Well, shout out to Kathy Bates. She's currently starring in the Matlock show, and it's back. Kathy's playing the role of Maddie Matlock, who, after achieving success in her younger years, decides to rejoin the workforce at a prestigious law firm where she uses unassuming tactics to win cases. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I think that was like the theme song music. Had a grandpa back in the day who liked to watch Matlock. Shout out to Matlock. It's an American classic. The show's early numbers for this particular Matlock release and premiere was soaring, with 7.73 million viewers tuning in just to watch the premiere. I can already see this being a just epic series. And also reportedly, Kathy Bates said that now I didn't hear this out of her own mouth. This is what the streets had said. I read this somewhere. So, take it with a grain of salt. But Kathy was saying that this is going to be like her final role, right? That I don't think she's going to be doing anything anymore after this. And I understand why it may have taken you a minute to get a date after Misery, honey, because that movie there. Do y'all know the story of Misery? Now, I don't have it in front of me. I don't know why I keep talking out the side of my neck as if I'm prepared to talk about some of this stuff, but Misery is the movie. I want to say it's the first movie that I may have seen Kathy Bates in, and I think the second one after that, I think, was Fried Green Tomatoes. But I can't. Anyway, I kind of got. Don't judge me on my little timeline. So if Fried Green Tomatoes came before, then that's probably where I seen her first. But this is where I remember Kathy Bates from, and it's about a fan who ends up finding. It's like a snowstorm, and a fan ends up finding her favorite author lost in a snowstorm. She brings him back to her house, and then has him basically write this. It's been a long time since I've seen this movie, y'all. Has him, she tortures him because the story that he's writing isn't going the way that she wants to go. And again, I haven't seen this movie in a long time, so I'm kind of summarizing from what I think and remember what the movie to be. So just kind of, y'all Google that. Google that. Don't believe me on that one, y'all. Make sure that y'all Google that. And in the corner in 5 things we are talking about, they're talking about Whitney Houston. They highlighted her for her concert for a new South Africa, which electrified fans in the country after apartheid fell. Zendaya is on page 10 in true Emerald City style, wearing a bubbly look from Louis Vuitton's Resort 2025 collection. The actress recently celebrated a birthday. About 28. Zendaya, always looking fashionable. Page 11 has the ladies looking pretty in pink, including Asia Naomi King in Giambattista Valley Haute Couture in LA this month. And Rita Ora is looking glam in Tamara Ralph, coupled with, it looks like kind of like this little soft glam wave right there in the front. Looking cute, soft, cute, safe. and beautiful. This week in Love on page 17, it highlights Corinne Fox and Joe Houghton, who tied the knot on September the 21st, and her father, Jamie Foxx, was right there at the ceremony to walk his daughter down the aisle and give her away. Now, Garcelle Boubet is the one who really posted the photo and kind of gave away, in my opinion, the inside of what was going on at this wedding. She posted a photo of the couple at their wedding. So thank you, Garcelle, because for giving us the inside, honey. We want to know what the mess is looking like. But this is good mess, right? Oh, you fancy, huh? Oh, you fancy, huh? Y'all, I'll never forget Garcelle playing the role of fancy. I know she's on the Real Housewives of, is it Beverly Hills? But she's on the Real Housewives now. She's in a different era of her life, doing some of those Terry movies there on Lifetime. So that's exciting to see. I actually enjoyed watching the clips on the latest movie. Although I have not watched it fully, the clips make me say I gotta make sure that I get to that as soon as I get that Lifetime subscription. Congrats, though, again to Corinne and also Joe on their nuptials. And Patrick and Brittany Mahomes, they celebrated his 29th birthday on September the 17th, surrounded by family, with the following caption on, I believe, social media. Happy birthday to one of the greatest humans ever, is what Brittany captioned for her man, Patrick. Todd Bridges has a new role in the animated series Everybody Still Hates Chris. I don't know if that is the theme song, but I will say in the article, Todd opens up about marriage, work, and family values there on page 18. Chris and his wife, though, they're also coming out, y'all, with a podcast in November. The name of the podcast is going to be called Dang, capital D-A-N-G, which you can expect some conversations around, get this, sobriety, as Todd has been sober for 31 years. Again, congratulations to anybody who has walked that journey. I know it's one day at a time, but you got this. In terms of his animated role, Todd says it's a lot of fun doing voice work and shows a positive influence of a Black family, and that definitely needs to be on TV more. Todd, I co-sign that, baby. Bridges also, if you don't know, appears in Gary, which is that Peacock documentary about his late Different Strokes co-star, Gary Coleman. So if you check that out, y'all, I want to know. Tell me in the comments below. Congrats to Papa, Michael Strahan. I know I'm calling him Papa. You know, but you're there now, Michael. You're there now. His oldest daughter welcomed a baby boy, and his name is Onyx. I think that's a cute name, making him a grandfather for the first time. Congratulations again to Michael Strahan. You and Coach Prime, y'all should link up. Jamie Foxx, are you next? I don't know. Let me not try to tell people what to do with their life and tell them what the next step is, because that's not fair, is it? But you know that's what always happens. Love and marriage, then the baby carriage. It's always an assumption. It's not fair, though, but it is. Shout out to the grandpas, though. Don't worry, grandpas. It's just jokes, Papa. It's just jokes. And y'all, I don't know where all this is coming from. Let me get back on script. On September the 16th, attorneys for Olympian gymnast Jordan Childs, they filed an appeal with the Federal Supreme Court of Switzerland to overturn a decision by the Court of Arbitration for Sport that stripped Childs of her bronze medal in the floor event following a score revision at the 2024 Paris Olympics. Both the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee filed a letter in support, and USA Gymnasts announced its support in a statement. Good luck with that. I am definitely keeping up, and when it comes in terms of the outcome of that particular issue. Fight Night $1 Million Heist is highlighted on page 32. It's the series that we've been talking about for the past month, starring Kevin Hart, Samuel L. Jackson, Taraji P. Henson, and Don Cheadle, as well as more. I'm just naming a few, okay? New episodes, in case you don't know, are released every Thursday there, I believe, on Peacock. You can check it out now for more episodes. And y'all, let me know if you checked it out, because again, I have not yet. Let me know in the comments below. Side note, y'all, you know the singer and actress Chloe Bailey. She's also in this series, and I heard Chloe explaining to her fans that she's not able to tour right now. It just kind of costs money. She did go on a tour. Was it last year or this year? I think it was last year. So I think right before her sister maybe released The Little Mermaid last May, I believe Chloe Bailey may have gone like on tour. But I heard Chloe explaining to her fans that, you know, it costs money to be on tour. Continue to do your acting thing, and continue to do your singing sessions that you do. You know, Chloe and her sister started on YouTube And I love to see Chloe popping out and doing sessions at the beach and giving us like covers. I still enjoy that. And it's because that's what you and your sister started out doing. So to continue that on, I really think I think it's still on brand. I don't think you've outgrown that at all. And I think it also shows to people what the start of YouTube can do, right? I mean, we have people like Issa Rae started on YouTube, right, with her series. You have people like Chloe and Haley. They started on YouTube. You got people like DDG, who is the partner of Haley Bailey and also the father to their child together. He also started out on YouTube. You talk to people, think about folks like Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy, tell them, think what you want about Soulja Boy. But Soulja Boy was that person that came out and said to us years ago, hey, look, put your music on YouTube, put it out there, right? You can start there. So don't be people looking at YouTube, baby. Folks ain't watching these shows like they used to. As a matter of fact, to be very transparent, I actually listen and watch some of the shows because of some of my YouTube faves. And if it wasn't for the YouTube faves, I wouldn't watch the show. I'm just being honest. And maybe for some of y'all, it's the opposite, but y'all tell me. I'm not a big TV watcher. I never really have been, except during that little period of like the MTV generation time and BET generation time when they were doing the tip drill videos. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry, Miss Johnson. Shout out to Sheila Johnson. I know she wanted more educational music on there, but we was watching some of the music videos. Side note, because I'm always going to the side anyway. I do wish Sheila Johnson, if y'all don't know, she is one of the owners of BET. It was her and then also Bob Johnson. They owned BET back in the day together. Since then, of course, they've sold off their shares and yada, yada, yada. But anyway, she was a classic violinist. She is an artist that I feel like really could have introduced BET to some brand new styles of music, whether it was an opera style, whether it was classical music, right? I just feel like it could have, knowing now and reading her book, listening to her book. I know sometimes people think that listening to the audiobook is the same as reading, but I got to admit to y'all, it's not the same. And I know that because of my learning style, child, because I need to listen and sometimes read it at the same time. And sometimes I can just listen to it, but there's still a different understanding when I listen to it versus when I read. But I'm going all around everything, y'all, because I'm just all over the place today with this news. But yeah, I do wish that back in the day, BET could have introduced to the channel, to the culture, to the audience, a different style of music from the culture. I just think that would have been just a different expansion for BET, and it would have looked different today. Anyway, another side note: don't be afraid to embrace R&B. Chloe, don't be afraid. Nothing's wrong with pop, but y'all don't be afraid to embrace R&B. Page 42 to 45 goes inside the shocking sex crime charges for mogul Sean Diddy Combs. As you know, Sean appeared in court on September 17th and pleaded not guilty to human trafficking, kidnapping, arson, and more, while abusing numerous people for a span of years, decades. I did a breaking story about this, and I've linked it in the comments below. Side note, do y'all remember? I know all these side notes. Do y'all remember when Warner Brothers banned Diddy? They gave him literally like a cease and desist from playing the Joker, so he showed up as Batman instead. Do y'all remember that? Do y'all think the FBI knew back then? Because they say the FBI don't play. When the FBI is doing an investigation, they've been investigating, baby. It ain't that raid. The FBI had been knowing. I just also thought about that because Batman just received, I think, a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Yeah, one of the only non-people is like the first character, I think, to receive that. Anyway, Nelly Furtado, she's back on the scene, and this time with her daughter, Nevis. Page 56 talks about how Nelly worked with her oldest daughter on her brand new album. Fun fact, though, her daughter was the creative director for her mom's NPR Tiny Desk concert in May. I have a thing about the Tiny Desk concerts. I literally will just pull it up on YouTube and play it. I don't even have to know the artist or have listened to their music a lot, or I may know just one song. Because a lot of the times, what I like about NPR is it can also introduce you to brand new genres of music, new artists, and all of it. It feels very like, you know how like they have one of those like a small kind of intimate concert or something. Like that's what it gives. I mean, of course, it's called a tiny desk concert for a reason. But even when you're at home and you listening, I feel like you can still get the tiny desk concert vibe, that intimate sort of like, we right here together, we in this thing, you know, yin yang in this thing. Paige, talked about that part already. John Legend, he's behind the new mobile app. It's called It's Good. It's an app that cuts to the chase about the best restaurants. So instead of having to read through reviews, you get to browse the best restaurant and hotel lists just by the pros. You can, according to the report, you can share it with your friends, and then your friends can just know, hey, this is where I can go in order to eat at the best restaurants. We'll go then. And speaking of going then, Meghan Markle's new lifestyle brand was revealed, and the rollout product, if you remember, that was granted its debut was the strawberry jam. Again, I don't know what I need to put my address in my bio so you know where to send my strawberry jam. Kris Jenner got some. Mindy Kaling got some. They even say John Legend's wife, Chrissy Teigen, they say she even got some. I ain't getting nothing. I know that the tabloids are giving you a hard time, though, Meghan Markle, about your lifestyle brand. But just know that the company has also pursued trademarks for small kitchen appliances, tableware, and more jarred foods. It's giving very Martha Stewart-ish. You know, I'm not saying that that's what it is, but that's what it's giving. I'm interested to know what else you got going on down the pipeline, Meghan. Maya Rudolph is sharing blush secrets there on page 73 and looking very fabulous as well. And y'all, that does it for Black on the Inside of People Magazine's October 7th issue.